now at 6, if you're thinking about heading out into the water on a boat, it's important you take it easy out there and stay safe. We have some safety tips officials want you to keep in mind.
After a utility worker was killed by a car while on the job, his family and supporters say they want a law passed to help families who are in a similar position.
And people in one town are frustrated over plans to construct a large building on wetlands. Why they don't want the project to move forward.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning, sunshine. 6 o'clock on this Thursday, the 4th of July. We hope you're having a great one so far. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
I'm Tim Lammers. Happy holiday, everybody. We hope your 4th of July is off to a good start. It's nice and quiet, and weather-wise, nice and quiet, too, although we're going to turn up the heat and humidity. We got meteorologist Nick Morganelli joining us now. Good morning to you, sir. Love the tie.
Good morning. Thank you. Yeah, you got to be celebrating today.
Yes.
Good morning to you both. Happy 4th of July, and happy 4th of July to you at home. Yeah, we're talking tropical humidity returning, and when we say tropical humidity, those dew point temperatures are going to go over 70 again. Right now, 65 for the dew point in New Haven, and that's probably one of the more humid places in Connecticut, or the more uncomfortable places. In Litchfield County, the dew points are still in the upper 50s, so it's still pretty comfortable. 71 in New Haven right now, and you see these dew point temperatures, what I'm talking about, the northwestern hills, and Willimantic's 58 too. That's still in the 50s, but we're going to pump those humidity levels up. Dew point temperature rising today after the lunch hour. They get into the upper 60s for just about everybody by the end of today, and then we'll go into the 70s after that. If you're grilling today, it's a good day for that. Temperatures in the lower 80s, high UV. Well, let's call it moderate UV because we've got some cloudiness out there, but it's humid and it's breezy as well. There's a couple of little showers here entering southwest Connecticut right now, but most of that is going to be drying up. We don't have a lot of rain on the map. The next 12 hours will feature a lot of cloudiness, though, and temperatures in the lower 80s. More on the extended forecast and an update on Hurricane Beryl as well. We're going to go over to Symphony for traffic. I guess there's not much going on the roadways, hopefully.
No,
Symphony?
There's not many people out there, as a lot of folks have the day off. But we'll check out how things are shaping up so far. Starting off with our statewide map. All green, which is some good news here. All right, taking a look out in Hartford this morning, East Hartford, going over the Bulkley Bridge here, I believe, and traffic's pretty light. Let's take a look at our Hartford drive time. Smooth sailing for you on 91, 84, and Route 2 this morning. Quick look in Waterbury. Beautiful sunrise in the works. There's a few folks already up and at it this morning. Let's take a quick look at our drive times here. Your weekend away drive times should be smooth sailing for you if you are heading into the city from New York. Speeds going about 50 miles per hour, and you should get there in just about an hour.
Well, of course, people are ready to celebrate today. Maybe you're going to the beach or heading out on the water. Either way, please stay safe, and there are some simple tips you can keep in mind to do so.
Yeah, we're checking in with Fox 61's Lindsay Kane, joining us live in Bridgeport this morning at Captain's Cove with more on that. Good morning, Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. Well, it is absolutely gorgeous out here on the water. We're here on historic Black Rock Harbor in Bridgeport. Right now, I'm here with Captain John Bilski from Seatow. So just talk to us a little bit, of course, these safety reminders. We're reminding people all day, all week, really, when people are hitting the waters for the holiday, just about important things that they need to do in order to keep themselves and their family safe.
Sure. So first and foremost is safety equipment. Make sure you have life jackets for everyone on your boat. Seatow offers a variety of life jacket loaner stands. People can go borrow them and return them when they're done. Secondly is all the safety gear on your boat. Make sure you have that. Another item to consider is keep your eye on the sky. I mean, weather changes and it can get pretty snotty out here really quick, and you find yourself in a bad spot.
Yeah, and speaking of life jackets, I mean, what we have on looks a little different than maybe a traditional life jacket if you're picturing one. Talk a little bit about how these work and why these are so important.
Sure, these are what we like to call auto-inflate life jackets. So this will automatically inflate once it hits the water. Most accidents happen at the dock or right next to the boat, and if the accident's already happened and you're in the water, it's too late to get a life jacket. But these are great because it'll auto-inflate. It'll create like a horseshoe collar around your neck. It'll keep you afloat. Secondly is we have what we call personal location devices. In the event of an emergency, you can hit a button. It'll send a signal up to a satellite. The United States Air Force or NASA get the signal. They know your exact location. Contact the local authorities, and help is on its way.
Yeah, and I know this is a busy week for CETO especially, which is like the AAA of the water, so to speak.
Correct.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you have to deal with out here, especially during these busy holiday week and weekends when people are here, you know, out on the waters, on vacation, things like that.
Most of what we deal with are people's boats that broke down. Whether it's an operator issue or a mechanical issue, we just go out and we're their guardian angel. You know, they join the CETO and they're a member, and we take care of them. But also folks that aren't a CETO member, we take care of them as well. But we're out here just to make sure people are safe and they get back to their docks with their crew on board.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, Captain John. As always, great advice from Captain John out here. Gorgeous morning. We're starting to see more people hitting the waters, and we can only expect that that is going to continue on throughout the rest of the day and the weekend as well. So we'll continue to check back in throughout the morning. But for now, we'll send things back over to you guys.
Alrighty, thank you, Lindsay. Stay safe out there. 6:06 now, we're getting a look this morning at a massive fire burning at an apartment building in New London. This happened around 9 last night on Nautilus Drive. When crews arrived, there was a fire on the second and third floor. The Norwich Fire Department says they were able to save a majority of the building. No word yet on if anyone was hurt or how the fire started. Now, the family of a Hartford utility worker who was hit and killed by a car while on a job gathered for a vigil last night.
Yeah, they're calling on lawmakers to do more to help families who are dealing with what they're going through right now. Jose Diaz Nez works for MDC. He was killed while working on West Boulevard and South Whitney Street nearly 3 weeks ago. His family and other community leaders say they now want a law put in place to support the children of utility workers and other workers who are killed on the sides of roads. They said they want the state to offer free college or trade school to victims' children.
The Jose Diaz Nez bill will ensure that the children of fallen workers can pursue higher education without the burden of financial stress. Our workers deserve more than just our gratitude. They deserve our unwavering support and the action for their families left behind.
Community leaders also say the death of Connecticut DOT worker Andrew DiDomenico on I-91 in Wallingford last week also highlights the importance for a bill like this. So the group does plan to take this bill to lawmakers during the next legislative session. And a DOT truck was involved in a crash on Route 8 in Litchfield yesterday. This is around 2:15 p.m. in the northbound lanes near exit 41. Thanks to the Northfield Volunteer Fire Company for these photos and for responding, of course. State police said a car wound up veering off the road and then hit the trailer of that DOT truck while it was parked out in the grassy median. Thankfully, nobody was in the truck at the time. No workers were hurt. We do know the driver of the car had to go to the hospital, but the injuries were being told are minor, and troopers did issue that driver a citation.
Bethany parents are expressing outrage after a former town and school district employee was arrested for allegations of sexually assaulting minors. 25-year-old Anthony Mastrangelo is accused of having inappropriate contact with at least 5 girls during his time as a counselor for the Parks and Rec Department. He was also a volunteer substitute teacher and intern at Bethany Public Schools. The allegations came out in December of 2022. Parents say they were never told about them.
And I am so disgusted and upset that people knew and did nothing. My child and many others could have been spared this horrific experience.
The town's first selectman says she was told by police to not say anything. The superintendent says the district did not receive any complaints from parents. State police tell us they can't provide any more details on the investigation, but they say if anyone has any more information to please reach out. Mastrangelo was released on bond. He's expected in a New Haven courtroom next week. And now to a Fox 61 follow-up for a Norwalk police officer who was arrested earlier this year. An internal investigation from the police department found Officer David Vitari in violation of several police rules of conduct. Vitari retired from police service this week. He's accused of trying to run a woman off the road on Route 15 back in March. Vitari is one of 3 current or former Norwalk officers facing legal trouble. And this morning in Hartford, the city has a new interim police chief as the city continues searching for its next leader. Mayor Aruna Naralambalam says Assistant Chief Kenny Howell will lead the force for now. Howell has served since December of 2020. Outgoing Chief Jason Thody announced his plans to resign back in March. The police union recently called for him to step down after filing a grievance over concerns about officers being overworked.
Some Middletown residents said they're concerned about plans to build an industrial building on wetlands. Shellco Filters is the company. They say they want to use the space on the corner of Spruce Brook Road and Main and Middle Streets to build a 50,000 square foot building with the possibility of adding onto it in the future. The owner said he's outgrown his current space on Bradley Street and wants to expand. Well, people who live on Spruce Brook said they're worried the building would disrupt the scenic area and bring more traffic, making it harder to get around town.
Obviously, we don't want that big building across from us. Down the street, there's a pond, lots of wildlife, there's wetlands, so we don't want that disturbed also. Another factor, though, is the traffic here. Ever since FedEx went in, we've had a lot more traffic.
Shellco Filters said the building would employ a maximum of 15 people and that only 2 or 3 trucks would pass through each day. Middletown's Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Agency said it's going to review the company's application and arrange for public comment within the next month. And if the committee winds up approving the plan, it would then move on to the Planning and Zoning Commission.